The ranked season for Season 11 is about to begin tomorrow. Everyone will be taking to solo queue to grind for their first spot on the ranked ladder. In honor of the start of Season 11 solo queue, I thought we should take a look at the best solo queue player in the entire world in order to understand what goes on through his head when he's playing League of Legends. Today, we will be talking about Dopa and his concepts. In this video, Dopa explains exactly what goes on through his head and what exactly his concepts are when he's playing League of Legends. There are thousands of different concepts in League of Legends, he says, and if you want to get better at League, all you have to do is understand these concepts. I'm not that good at League of Legends, really I'm not. I just understand these concepts where other players do not. Here's what a concept looks like in League of Legends. A concept is something that can be defined as a win condition in the game. Dopa's most played champion and his most infamous champion is Twisted Fate. One of the best ways that he gets a lead on Twisted Fate is something he calls level 5 2Qs. On Twisted Fate, as soon as you hit level 5, you want to immediately queue the next wave that's incoming so you can queue the backline minions as soon as possible. It does not matter whether or not you hit the melee minions and get that gold, so long as you're able to take an early back. Once Dopa is able to get this early back, he's able to go back to lane earlier on, and he has a potion, HP, and mana lead compared to his laner. The opposing laner will obviously want to go back to base as well. When Dopa is able to hit this goal point successfully, he is essentially able to get a guaranteed ultimate that is going to do something on his team. When Dopa is able to consistently hit this concept, he's able to gain a lot of pressure in the mid lane and is allowed to use his Twisted Fate ultimate much more freely. If the enemy laner just wants to back, he can't follow on the roam. Dopa is also allowed to push in minion waves much quicker. Since the mid laner will hit level 6 before everyone else, you're going to be able to apply the most pressure out of any other player in the game. This is the basic idea of a concept, a goal point or a strategy to win on your champion. Obviously, every single champion in every single matchup will have different concepts and different win points. But so long as you are thinking about which win points you're going to be using, but no matter what champion you're going to be playing for ranked Season 11, you want to think about what concept and what win points are important to your champion. Another important concept to Twisted Fate is minion vision manipulation. Essentially, in League of Legends, minion vision is lost the instant when they die. You calculate approximately the amount of time it takes for your abilities to kill the wave, and then you pretend to roam to one side of the map, while the minion is still alive and giving the enemy team vision, and as soon as the minion dies, you change course and go to the other side of the map. This concept works for pretty much any other lane, but is the most important for roaming mid laners such as Twisted Fate. Dopa talks about several different concepts during the video, but the two most important concepts are minions and attention theory. One big problem that average players have is they don't understand when they should go in for a safe trade against their lane opponent. If you break down laning phase, you can break it down into three important concepts or goals that you need to hit in order to win the lane. You want to successfully last hit the enemy minions, you want to deny your enemy last hitting as many of your minions as possible, and you have to harass the enemy while dodging enough damage yourself. These are the three most basic points of laning. If you know these three simple facts, then you can use these in your advantage against an opponent. Let's say you're against a skill shot champion like Xerath. If Xerath is also familiar with these three concepts, he will obviously want to harass you while you're going for a last hit. So when you're going for a last hit on a minion, you can expect that a skill shot might come out. If you make it look like you're going for the last hit and you can bait out the Xerath Q, by sidestepping and dodging the ability, you make him lose mana and the ability to harass you efficiently for the next few seconds. This is the basic concept of dodging skill shots in lane. But you can take this concept a little bit further. Say your jungler is a very strong early game ganker, and you know he's going to be coming mid lane at around level 3. Instead of positioning yourself to the side of minions, you can position yourself into your own minion wave. That way, Xerath's skill shot, no matter what, is going to be hurting your minions. And whether or not he wants to, this ability will push the minion wave. By pushing the minion wave, Xerath will have to walk up further in order to hit his first concept, which is last hitting minions. This puts him at a disadvantage, giving you an easier gank. The inverse is also of course true. If you're in a matchup where pushing a minion wave to the tower is very important, that's when you want to stand on the side in order to dodge skill shots so that those skill shots don't hit your minion wave. There are perhaps thousands of different concepts in a single League of Legends game, and no way for anyone, not even players like Dopa, to remember and to utilize all of them. This is why Dopa talks about his second most important concept, which is attention theory. What is Dopa's attention management? You can break it down into something like this. Imagine you have a very busy day ahead of you. You have an appointment at the doctor's, you have to go to the store and buy something, you got a really important day at work. When you have a lot of different things to do, your brain will get distracted and be unable to perform everything with 100% attention focused to it. When you have so many different concepts in League of Legends, you're going to have to devote a certain amount of attention to each different concept. When you play League of Legends, you're always multitasking. If you imagine your attention as 100 points, you're going to have to devote at least 70 points into last hitting minions, trading with the opponent, and keeping track of their cooldowns, and any other aspects of the matchup that you're playing into. Ideally, another 30 of your attention points should be devoted to tracking the enemy jungler along with your own jungle in order to plan out when you will be receiving and getting ganked. Now, this of course is all in theory, but in practice, this is rarely what ever happens. Let's take a champion like Lucian for example. Lucian mid, while he's not the best laner anymore, he can still bully and take over a lane against many champions. One of Lucian mid's worst matchups is actually Seraphine, who's essentially a support mage with a fairly weak laning phase. In theory, Lucian should be able to handily win this matchup, but in reality, that almost never happens. In fact, Seraphine has one of the highest win rates against Lucian mid. Dopa's attention theory explains why this is the case. When you have to play a mechanically intensive champion like Lucian, you have to devote a lot more of your attention into thinking about the small concepts of laning phase. You have to individually click on each minion to CS. Your champion has to be in a position to be able to take advantage of your strong early laning phase, to be able to snowball and get good trades against the enemy laner. You have to make sure that you always back off at the most opportune time so you don't take too much minion harassment. When you have to play a champion with so many different concepts, you have to devote so much of your attention to just piloting the champion. This means you don't have enough attention to focus on all of the other fundamental aspects that everyone has to focus on when playing League of Legends. If Lucian players have to devote 90 points of their attention into just the laning phase, they're not going to have enough to be able to properly keep track of the enemy jungler. Meanwhile, Seraphine players just have to vomit out her basic spells in order to clear the wave. Not that hard to button mash your 2 wave clear abilities, so there's not much to think about during the laning phase for the Seraphine player. Since Seraphine needs to devote so much less attention in the laning phase, she can think more about setting up a gank for her jungler and shut down Lucian's early snowballing. This is why one-tricks are so successful in Dopa's experience. Dopa calls himself a 2-trick player, meaning he only plays 2 champions. When you're so used to a champion and their basic concepts, you no longer have to devote so much of your attention into that aspect of the game. You can focus more on other concepts that exist in order to improve your game. So for Season 11, think about the concepts of whatever champion you're going to be playing, perfect, master them, stick to those concepts, and learn new ones. Thanks for watching, guys. This video was really fun to research and look into. The video itself is mostly based off of a Reddit thread that was posted a while back about a translation of a very long ramble that Dopa did about his philosophies in League of Legends. He talks about a lot of different and interesting things about League in general, and you can check out the full link in the description. One thing that I found really funny and interesting about the amount of detail that Dopa goes into is about his physical PC setup. When he plays against opponents that are very, very challenging, he has to feel like he has everything perfect and nothing distracting him. His desk is perfectly level, almost like a builder's meter. His screen has to be exactly 47.3 centimeters away from his desk. He has a tape on the side of his chair to make sure that his chair is in the exact same position every single time. And he obsesses over the sensitivity of his mouse to the point where he won't even play League of Legends if it's not exactly perfect. Obviously, you don't need to go to such extreme lengths to get better at League of Legends, but it does show the level of commitment that someone as good as Dopa is willing to go in order to get that competitive edge. So, think about the different concepts in this game, and good luck in Season 11. And thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye!